Welcome back to the new show, and this week we've got no E3 stuff because I'm saving that for a separate video which will go up as a bonus on either Monday or Tuesday. So, non-E3 related news coming up. We will start today with the closest thing I'm going to skirt to E3, and that is Pokemon Sun and Moon. And they are having, a very complicated series of things have happened related to Pokemon. There was a Nintendo Direct about a week before E3, and we thought it was going to be to do with sort of either the third version of Pokemon Sun and Moon, which it sometimes has, like Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, or Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, or it was going to be something like a main game for the Switch, because that's been a rumour since basically before Sun and Moon came out and when the Switch was announced. What we got instead was none of those things, and it was in fact a sort of expansion, I don't know, a weird thing. It's called Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, and it involves more heavily one of the legendaries that was in the game, like right at the post game, and it's going to involve that and the legendaries that were the cover ones anyway. I'm not going to say that this is like Pokemon Black 2 and White 2 because my voice is going. I do not think that this is going to be like Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. What it doesn't look like is a continuation of the plot. What it looks like instead is sort of a hybrid between Diamond, Pearl and Platinum, sort of like the expansion, and Black 2 and White 2, which is the sort of continuation. It sort of looks like a hybrid between those two things. We don't really know what it is. All we know is it's coming later on this year, late this year, November, so I'm probably going to buy it because I'm a massive Pokemon sheep. So after that disappointment for a lot of people who really wanted a game on the Switch, a game on the Switch got announced at E3. Not much is known about this Switch version that's going to be coming out. All we know is it's coming in 2018, and it's going to be a mainline game, so a proper full-on sort of main series game as opposed to like whatever else. Hopefully it's going to be very good. I really hope so, because again, I'm a massive Pokemon nerd, and I'm guessing that it's not going to be like the GameCube games, which were Colosseum and XD Gale of Darkness, both of which are still very good games, and I've played them quite extensively, but I don't think that's what they're going to go for. I'm going to think they're going to go for a visually upgraded version of the sort of main continuity games that we already know, like a big open world, and just this sort of... I really hope this is good. That's all we know though so far. We just know that that's going to come to Switch, although that has made me want to Switch more, so well done Nintendo. The CEO of Atari has announced that Atari are getting back into the hardware business. Now, Atari have not made any sort of console-related hardware for many years, and if you want me to try and name the last one they did, you are straight out of luck because I don't know and I'm not looking it up. So, it's been years and years since Atari have made a console of any description, and they even filed for bankruptcy several years ago and are now owned by a different company, and they've been releasing mostly shitty mobile games and the odd sort of piece of crap on Steam. See Jim Sterling's channel for that. So this is very straight out of left field, this announcement. It's very odd and sort of cool. It's called the Atari Box, I know that much, and it's supposed to be coming about this time next year. That is basically all we know about it, but we'll see. Atari getting back into the hardware industry? Welcome back to the 1980s, everybody. So you know how Steam Greenlight's dead and Steam Direct is coming in soon? I've talked about it a couple of times. Oh, this is an odd story. Valve have bulk approved 3,400 of the games that were on Greenlight. I apologise, it's not 3,400, it is many of the 3,400 games that were still on Greenlight when it closed, and the only ones that didn't get approved were ones with insufficient data from users, or ones that had sort of comments about how the game is shit, basically. So a load of well, some good things, but probably a load of crap has just ended up being dumped on Steam. If ever there was a more fitting sort of last gasp and epitaph for Greenlight, that's it. I mean, a big heap of shit just dumped onto Steam. Fitting. The developers of Hitman, IO Interactive, are now a freelance independent studio. Yes, the ongoing saga continues, and a very sort of out of the left field week for news this is, because we've had this as well, and they're now an indie studio, which is very good, and they retain all the rights to the Hitman series, which is even better. In a statement, IO Interactive CEO Hakan Abrak said this: "In its 19 years of history, IO Interactive has brought you original and exciting entertainment, from mini ninjas to freedom fighters to game's most notorious criminals, Kane and Lynch." Why? Why did they mention those? No, do not mention Kane and Lynch ever. That is a terrible idea. And of course, our beloved Agent 47. With our latest game, we have not only transformed Hitman, but moved our entire studio into the AAA digital era. Our live product has disrupted the video game business and has received recognition and praise from press, community, and our fans. Are you sure? With many tales of hope, dreams, hardship, and joy within these walls, we have never strived for the expected or predictable. Instead, we are always in pursuit of what feels original and real. Our passion and determination has never been greater, and so that is why we have decided that it is not the time to stop, as we have many more exciting and original tales to tell. Therefore, I am proud to announce today that IOI is now officially an independent studio. We have successfully concluded our negotiations with SqueeNix and have agreed a management buyout. Crucially, this will keep all of our rights to the Hitman IP. This is a watershed moment for IOI, as of today we have complete control over the direction for our studio and the Hitman IP. We are about to forge our own future, and it's incredibly exciting. We are now open to opportunities with future collaborators and partners to help strengthen us as a studio and to ensure that we can produce the best games possible for our community. I would like to say a big and sincere thank you to all of our players, community, friends in the media, and everyone else connected to the studio for the messages of support that we've received in the last few weeks. I would also like to thank SqueeNix. It has been a great family to be a part of, and we are proud that we have achieved together in the last 8 years. IOI started as an independent studio, and we will now return to those roots with an extremely passionate and talented team. We are counting on the continued support of all our players simply by having fun with everything we've released so far for Hitman, and want to encourage more of you to try our game. We have more details to come on our plans for that next week. Thank you, Hakan. IO Independent in this. Nice, IO Independent, beautiful. So this means that the Hitman that was released last year is no longer dead in the water. In fact, plans have been announced for content, as I said in the statement, very soon. And in fact, 2 more seasons of the game have been sort of planned out. So this is actually really good news. And I'm looking forward to seeing what this company can do without being under the leash of Square Enix and their sort of corporate money-orientated thing. And best of luck to what is now an independent IO Interactive. Who remembers Two Worlds 2? Fucking nobody, that's who. I'd completely forgotten about the game until today. I'd forgotten its existence entirely, because it is a 6-year-old game that nobody particularly cared about at the time of launch, and nobody cares about now. The game has suddenly found relevance again somehow, because after 6 whole years, microtransactions have been added to the game. Now when you load up the game, you can see an option for Marketplace, where you can buy real consumable fake consumable items for your game with real life money. Why? Why is this a thing? This shouldn't have been a thing in the first place, let alone 6 years down the line. They did it with Call of Duty 4 Remastered, which is an awful thing, but at least they had the good sense to remaster the game while they were doing it. This is just, oh, this game's quite old and probably not bringing in a lot of money. Here we go, put microtransactions in it. Give us more money. Give us more money. Among the items available for purchase are various consumable items, weapons, crystals, and armors. You're paying about $1.99 a pop per item, it seems, unless I am mistaken, and there's some available for more. No, between $1 and $2. Well, there's some for 50 cents as well for most of them, including some cheats. You can now buy cheats for 2 Worlds 2 with real money. What? As a person who heavily dislikes microtransactions in games in the first place, I find this frankly detestable. And I genuinely don't understand what happens in games anyway, but I'm even more baffled more than anything, as to why this has happened in a 6-year-old game. Go figure. And finally, the big news, the thing that came out about 2 days, or maybe not even a day after E3 finished. Take-Two, the parent company of Rockstar, have declared modding illegal. There is a mod called Open4, a mod for GTA 4 and 5 that basically allows users to sort of change things in the game, and it's also a very large part of the rest of the modding scene, with a lot of other mods being either made off the back of or relying on Open4 to work. On June the 5th, however, it was only reported on June the 15th, the developers of the mod have received a cease and desist letter from Take-Two, the parent company of Rockstar. The only line of this cease and desist letter that the developers shared with us was saying that this mod enabled access for people to fiddle around with the online, basically ruining people's experiences and in violation of Take-Two's rights. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing because I've tried reading the statement and I failed miserably, and it was terribly worded, so yeah, that was actually in the response that the developers, they're Russian and they know better grammar than Take-Two, who are an American company, so well done. This is of course rubbish because Open4, as stated by the developers, can only be used in the single player and cannot be used to alter the online in any way, shape or form, because if you try and go into the online with the mod installed, it'll go, no, don't do that, you can't do that, you've got our mod installed, don't go online. So yeah, that doesn't work, that's not true. And also, because modding is still technically an illegal grey area, they have even tried to comply by the courts in Russia's rules, and they've always reverse engineered any code. They've never done any hacking to get to code, and they've always just used sort of clean room engineering to get what they wanted from the game. They have played as nice as they could possibly be. This is the nicest mod you could ever install on your game, and Take-Two have just been bastards about it. I suspect this is to do with wanting people to go to the online, as evidenced by the fact that a couple of weeks ago, Take-Two said that they had under-monetized people on GTA Online, despite the fact GTA Online took in $700 million last year. In a year, $700 million just from GTA Online. Apparently, that's not enough. The developers of the mod said they would not fight this in a court because it's not worth it to them. It is not worth spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to restore the status quo. It is a damn shame, and we're sort of hoping that Take-Two will change their mind, but I suspect not, because of the following. Rockstar, yes I do mean Rockstar this time, released a statement regarding this. Take-Two's actions were not specifically targeting single-player mods. Love how they just completely deny any responsibility for themselves. They're just like, no, this was not us. This was not us explicitly. It was Take-Two, not us. Don't kill us. Unfortunately, Open4 enables recent malicious mods that allow harassment of players and interfere with GTA Online experience for everybody. We are working to figure out how we can continue to support the creator community without negatively impacting our players. So you know GTA Online, that bastion of no hacking and being nice and lovely and friendly to everyone? Oh, no, wait. That doesn't exist. So, yeah, that statement's bullshit. That was clearly handed down from Mount Take-Two to the prophet of Rockstar. to give out, and it's clearly bullshit. And also, Take-Two, the parent company, have declined to comment on the situation. Real classy, guys. Also, as a result of this, the Steam reviews of this game have just fallen off a cliff. Its most recent review scores are now in the mostly negative category, with one of mine included, and its percentages overall have dropped down from very positive to mostly positive. It is now at 78, whereas I think it was at 85%. So that's a huge drop-off in just a couple of days. And it appears that Take-Two haven't listened and they don't care, but whatever. That's life, I suppose. Also, just a little addendum. There's a petition that has been sort of created to get them to listen and try and go, please don't ban this mod. This is a very nice mod and we all like it. It has received 20,000 signatures, which is a very, very, very large amount. If you wish to sign it, I will link in the description. So yes, an incredibly shitty situation created by the parent company of Rockstar, not Rockstar, and to be honest, it's put me off getting any Take-Two games, which includes Rockstar games, to be honest, because now I know that Take-Two are a particularly, well, I knew they were a shit company anyway, but now I know they're particularly shitty. So that's the end of the news for this week. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you wish to watch any of my Let's Play related content, I do a series on Phantom Dust, which you can watch here. My Wednesday Let's Play this week was on a game called Tokyo 42, which is amazing, and you can watch that here. And of course, you can subscribe to me here. So again, I really hope you enjoyed watching the news, and I will see you next time for some more news.